What's up, guys? We're here with another Legends feature. Today, we are talking about Trey Hill. We did a written blog, when was it? Like last week, with a scene from episode 1, Identity of Legends. And it was a scene where Trey Hill and his friend Eddie Burns was, they were trying to give stuff away. I can't remember what all I put in the excerpt. Basically, they were in an altercation with the Shinobi Riverwood gang. And they got into this fight, and they were in danger, and something happened to Trey. We leave a link to that particular blog in the description of this video, so you can make sure you read it, check it out, so you know what we're talking about. But something what happened to him, and like his eyes changed. His friend described it afterwards as going completely white. And he began to see everything more clearly, so to speak. He could tell the exact temperature of the air. He could see tell how fast the wind was blowing. He could tell distances, like he was exactly 3.25 meters away. That chair is 3.25 meters away from me. He could tell exactly where everything was.
Yeah, how much everything weighed.
Yeah, you know, like the angles and everything, and how things were done. He could see everything perfectly, as if being like a genius who could just see how everything works. And he was able to
look at this table. I said, this table here is made out of mahogany oak.
Something like that, yeah. So he had detail. Yeah, people will start looking for that now. Yeah, put that in there. But anyway, so basically, he could just see things. Just the best way to put it. He could see everything, and he was able to save his friend's life doing that. His friend was about to get killed, so he saved him doing that. So then so basically now we want to talk about is just Trey Hill and a character, as in just waking up one day, being a 17-year-old kid, and knowing you have, for all intents and purposes, superpowers. How do you deal with that? What do you do? Now, see, the thing that's going to happen in this universe is that, and we'll probably talk about this in another video, but in the Legends universe, there are mutants. Think, basically, for a reference, think X-Men in the sense that people know mutants exist, but let's go back earlier on when
it's not so well established.
Yeah, and that's well established. It's almost like a boogeyman legend kind of thing.
Like, are they true?
Yeah, you know, you have, like, people say, okay, I've seen ghosts, or I saw a ghost. You have a friend who said he saw a ghost, or a friend of a friend of a friend.
It's like,
sure, see urban legends on internet and stuff like that, you know, but it's no real proof. You know, you see videos people upload to YouTube of them doing super stuff, but it's like, oh, that's fake, you know, Photoshop, whatever, you know. So, but there's a possibility. There's people who really do believe. You can find underground websites, people who are like, you know, I'm a mutant, that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's kind of a scary stigma to it, because it's like, I don't know, how do I handle this? And as we go further into the series, we're going to begin to answer some questions about that and really highlight the mutants. But starting out, so Trey realizes his powers. He's like, am I a mutant? And if so, this is scary. How do I handle this? You know, there's not, like, what do I do now that I have superpowers? He's living in a world where mutants are formally recognized, and okay, so what rights do they have? Are they technically human? What do you do to them? What happens if they commit a crime while using their powers? How do you? What all happen? You know, the whole new billions of things you have to think about now. So now those are now his concerns. He's like, am I a mutant now? What do I do? And him as a character overall, Trey is involved in some less than legal things. He works for
less than legal meaning illegal.
Yeah, he works for a crime lord named Jackpot. Him and his friend Eddie, and but he in himself, he's always trying to figure out what exactly do I want to be. You know, what exactly do I want to do with my life? Ignore the noise, guys. There's other people in this house, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
but anyway,
people
so
you have to deal with it.
Yeah, but so just think about that. What do I do now that I have these powers, and how does that affect the rest of his life? Because, you know, he is a criminal, but he himself doesn't know, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do in my life. Do I want to do something else? I want to go to college.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a typical teenager, you know.
Yeah.
A guy, if even without powers, you're still trying to find yourself. You have peer pressure to deal with. It's just something you're doing that's not right. You have to try to, you know, to struggle with being what the parents raised you to be. But now added on that is this whole extra layer of our universe of the whole mutant thing. So now he has this other thing to add into the already complicated lifestyle of a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah,
you know, being a teenager is already crazy enough anyway. Yeah. So we're adding this extra layer on top of that.
Yeah,
you know?
And Trey is well liked by his peers, well respected. He's a popular kid, and he does care a lot what people think about him. You know, so he doesn't want a whole lot of people knowing that he's doing this criminal thing. You know, I mean, a few people close to him who know, but overall wants to kind of keep it a secret because, you know, besides the fact that a lot of people know, you know, get arrested at some point, but, you know, he cares what people think about him, you know, and that's the big thing. It's like, I care what people think, and I'm doing this. Do I really want to do this? Am I just kind of going with the flow of because I've been doing this for so long, or am I just being what other people want me to be? And it's a whole thing. And that's why this first issue that releases this fall is called Identity in the first place, because not just him but some of the other characters, it's all about who am I, what do I want to be. And it's really like a basic thing that all young people deal with, but it's a great jumping off point because those are going to be questions that you're going to be asking throughout this entire series, finding out exactly who you are. And it starts off simple, you know, okay, I don't want to be a nerd at school, I want to be cool and popular. And then towards the end, am I going to be the guy who saves the world? You know, because I mean, things get to a higher level, and but they still remain grounded in these characters. Who am I? And that's something that Trey Hill has to answer for himself. You know, who am I? What am I going to be? Am I going to let other people decide for me who I'm going to be? Now that I have this power, can I just decide for myself and take what it is that I want to be? You know, and is that right?
And I guess we could describe Trey as being, of our characters, he's probably the main protagonist.
Yep.
I mean, you can decide for yourself who you think the main person is, but if we had to pick one person, we'd probably say he is the one who the story is probably most based around. And I think he's a good main character. I mean, lots of you see main characters who are probably pretty wooden, or they're a noble guy, or they're the bad boys, like blah blah blah. But I think Trey has diversity
because he doesn't even know who he is, you know.
Yeah, so it's a whole learning
terribly confident in who
so
he is.
And it's cool how we put in, you'll see in different environments he acts differently. So just like anybody does who's trying to fit in.
Yep. You'll conform to whatever your environment is. You'll let your environment dictate who you want to be, but you can't do that forever, obviously, because you'll just lose yourself. You never know who you are in the first place, and we're going to explore that with Trey and find that out. And everybody will be able to relate to this. Everybody, because he has superpowers, but all the same, you're going to be able to relate to who he is as a person overall. You know, I mean, and it's going to be cool. You're going to like Trey. I would like to believe that you would like all of our characters. I mean, there are some that we make, like, I guess, villains that we want to annoy you, but even so, you still like them.
Like, that guy is so annoying.
Yeah, like you love to hate, you know.
I love hating that guy.
We think you'll like Trey, and you'll be sympathetic to his journey because he's going to go through a lot. You know, it's not going to be easy for him, and we tend to not let up when we get started on throwing stuff at our characters. We don't really let up; it just keeps going and going. And it's going to be a wild ride. Once it gets started, it gets started. This first issue is going to serve as an introduction to our heroes, our main cast, basically our main players, and you want to get invested in them and discover them and kind of like, you know, see who they are and begin to kind of formulate your opinions on what you think they should do, and then get to see whether or not they do that or not. But Trey, like we said, it's kind of who, if this is a story about one character, we could say it would be Trey. You know, all of our characters are very important, but Trey's journey, his choices are really going to impact, you know, not only the other characters, not only his own life, but just the entire world as a whole. And you kind of see how it all expands, how that goes. And a lot of decisions that he's being forced to make are kind of being thrust upon him by outside forces who are trying to manipulate who he turns out to be, you know. He wants to know who he is, and other people want to dictate to him who he is so they can use him for their own purposes, you know. And you'll get to see that when we're talking about there. But it's going to be a fun ride, a fun journey. And wait for you guys to see Trey Hill in action. Yeah.
So hope you enjoyed our number 2 Legends feature on Trey Hill.
Actually, number 3.
Hope you enjoyed our number 3.
No, it's number 4. Our first one was the written one for Celtic. Number 2 was Celtic. Number 3 is the written one for Trey, and then the 4th one to Trey. Oh yeah, second video, but 4th feature overall.
Video.
Gotta go to Tumblr for the other ones. Yep.
Second video feature.
Yeah.
Trey Hill.
Bye.